Hello everybody, welcome back and thank you for joining me. Tonight my good friend and fragrance connoisseur and fellow fragrance reviewer Captain Scentsible interviews me about my upcoming fragrance release Gravitas pour Homme by Naughton and Wilson, created by the Perfumer John Stephen, who has also made fragrances for Check and Speak and Boadicea the Victorious. You can check out the link in the description below for the Kickstarter campaign for Gravitas pour Homme, where you can pledge and pre-order your bottle for a special early Kickstarter price of just £75 for 100ml. We have already hit our target of £10,000. We've smashed through it. We're over £20,000, but we want to hit the heights. Let's check out the interview with the ever in-depth, incisive and informative reviewer and interviewer, Captain Scentsible.
Alright, let's get started then. Question number 1. Why did you decide to call your fragrance Gravitas pour Homme?
No, it's actually called Gravitas pour Homme, not Gravitas pour Homme.
What does that mean then?
Well, gravitas, the word, means something which has a certain seriousness about it, maybe a dignity, a solemnity. So we wanted this to be a fragrance that the person wearing it would wear when they perhaps wanted to be taken seriously, and a fragrance in itself that has a slightly weighty and serious kind of air about it. It's not really a playful, sporty fragrance or a fun, fruity or overly sweet fragrance. It's a masculine, heavyweight in a way, hopefully well balanced, but somewhat heavyweight, to be taken seriously kind of fragrance for a person who also hopefully will be taken seriously when they wear it. So that's why I went for the name, and of course we kind of just wanted one word so people could remember it and it sticks in the mind and hopefully rolls off the tongue easily. That's why we went for the name Gravitas pour Homme.
Apparently it's a Fougere fragrance. What does that mean, and what's so Fougere about it anyway?
No, it's not Fougere. It's a Fougere fragrance. So Fougere means fern-like in French. In French, it's a type of fragrance which was originally created in the 19th century when Homme made their classic fragrance Fougere Royale, and it's supposed to be a fragrance, or was, that it sort of encapsulates how a fern would smell. Now, ferns that you find in the forest don't have a particularly notable smell, but it sort of captured how one might imagine or hope that they would smell. So there's usually a certain greenness about it. Actually, they normally are going to have some lavender in them, usually some oak moss in the base. Actually, I find that, there's so many different things called fougères now that it doesn't mean that much anymore. Maybe because you've got Dior's Sauvage, a famous one in the blue bottle, that's called a Fougere fragrance. So it's absolutely nothing like this, and loads of other stuff is too. But for us, really, it's a classic masculine style fragrance with a certain sort of warming, comforting air about it, a freshness, a little bit of a greenness, and that's what we've gone for. So this definitely does fit into the traditional classic Fougere category, but hopefully with a modern twist and a uniqueness all of its own.
The fragrance was done by Perfumer John Stephen. Is it true that, because I heard this rumour, you asked Billy Idol to do it and he agreed to do it, but when he sent it, it was a load of rubbish?
No, that's not true.
So who is this John Stephen when he's at home then?
Good question. Yeah, a little bit disrespectful the way you put it. But yeah, John Stephen, the perfumer, a very illustrious English perfumer. He has his own perfume house, the Cotswold Perfumery, based up in the Cotswolds in the UK. That's where we went to meet him when we were discussing him producing the fragrance for us. He's also made fragrances for Check and Speak, including Oxford and Cambridge, a really famous one by then, and also a lot of fragrances for Boadicea the Victorious. So he's a man with a real passion and skill for fragrances, and also a great career of making some tremendous stuff, both for his own company and some quite illustrious niche houses too. So we're very lucky and proud and privileged to have him on board to make a fragrance for the Mr. Smelly fragrance brand Naughton and Wilson.
What are the fragrance notes and how does it smell?
So the fragrance notes are, I hope I can remember them, in the top we've got bergamot, mandarin and lavender. In the mid we have coriander, cardamom and pepper, and the base notes are patchouli, ambergris, oak moss and vanilla. So it's a real balanced fragrance. There's a freshness in the opening, it's a little bit spicy, it's aromatic, In the base, we've got some quite heavy notes. If you like the note of patchouli, there's quite a bit of that in there, but nothing's overdosed so it stands out too much. Lavender is certainly very noticeable in this one. So if you like classic aromatic fougere fragrances and the kind of things that you've seen me often rave about on my channel, strong chance you're going to enjoy the way this one smells. There's this very nice balance of masculinity, a little bit of an affability. There is a little bit of a sweetness and a spiciness. So it's nothing too in your face in the smell that you're going to go, oh my god. There's nothing really animalic, but it's a classic, well-groomed, potent, masculine, kind of reassuring, very reassuring class. I feel classy when I wear this, and I have worn it quite a bit. So that's my attempt at this point to describe how it smells. It's very hard actually for me to pick out one note or this, and then after 10 minutes you get the bergamot or whatever, because it really does have this aura of just smelling like Gravitas pour Homme. But it's certainly a small air of familiarity with anyone who likes the classic aromatic fougere type fragrance, but it's something new and unique.
Right. Now, next question. How is the longevity and protection? I can't read these words.
Right, no, that's it says longevity and projection. So we're talking about how long does it last and what's the projection like. Does it smell strong in the air? Does it project to the air? We've concentrated this one at 20%, so it's an extract de parfum, 20% fragrance oil in the formula here. That means it's going to last a long time. It really does on my skin. I put it on and go to bed, wake up the next day, it's still there. That's rare for me. So it's very, very good in longevity. It lasts a long, long time, and it's pretty strong in the air. Very strong indeed, really. So be careful. I wouldn't say it's completely obnoxious over the beast mode, maybe just a notch below beast mode, because we want it to be a classy, elegant fragrance, and sometimes if things are too strong, that's not the case, but it does have very strong performance. So you'll need to dose it lightly if you want to wear it as a sort of subtle scent, and if you dose it more heavily, you certainly are going to have a reasonable cloud around you of a hopefully fantastic, reassuring, manly aura.
Right. How much is it?
On the Kickstarter campaign at the moment, there's a link in the description for that, people at home. If you want to sign up and pledge and pre-order your bottle, it's 100 mils for £75. So we think that's really good value for a really high quality niche juice. Lovely presentation. The actual label will probably be slightly different. We've got a logo there, but we might go with a gold label. We're going to see about that, but this is how the bottle's going to look. The lid there, and we will have a box with it too. More importantly, the juice quality is absolutely stunning, right up there with some of my niche fragrance favourites, and so we think it's a fantastic bargain, but we wanted to get as many sales and make the thing work. We had to hit a certain target and all that, so we wanted to keep the price very, very reasonable to get this off the ground, and so we think it's a really great price. It'll probably go up a little bit once we sell it through our own website after the Kickstarter campaign, so that's very much a special price. So we think we've done it at a really, really good price.
Next question. Does it smell like any other well-known fragrances?
Yes, there are definitely a few well-known things that it does remind me of a bit. It's unique, as are most or all fragrances, in that no two things smell exactly the same, and this is kind of unique. But of course, most people watching the channel will know I'm a big fan of Creed's Bois de Portugal. There's a little bit of a similarity with that, at least that you would reach for it in the same kind of mood. Houbigont's Fougere Royale that I've already mentioned, probably a similarity with that. I get a little bit of Armani's Eau pour Homme in the nice, fresh, citrusy bergamot opening, and a classic citrus cologne, old school citrus aromatic. There's a hint of that in there. I've also said, somebody said to me that they thought it reminds them a bit of Histoire de Parfum 1725 Casanova. Very much a barbershop fragrance, that one. I love that fragrance. So this one does have a little bit of a powdery air and a hint of sweetness actually in the base. So and that's very much in keeping or similar to Casanova 1725 by Histoire de Parfum. So maybe there's a touch of that. It doesn't smell exactly or massively like any of those, but maybe hints of all those come through. If you like Invasion Barbar by MDCI, I think you probably enjoy this one. If you're a fan of any of those kind of fragrances, the kind of things I like on the Mr. Smelly channel, then you probably will enjoy this. But it's very much a unique Gravitas pour Homme smell that I'm coming to know quite well now.
Okay then. Do you actually think anyone will buy it?
Yes, well, we've actually sold over 200 of these have been pledged for so far, and we had a
Bloody
target
hell.
of £10,000 that we needed to hit on our Kickstarter campaign, which you can click on down below, and we hit that in the first week, which was incredible. We needed to sell at least that many to make it viable to produce the thing and all that, and we're now over £20,000 raised, and you can order it all around the world, not everywhere in the world, but you can find details. So if you're in the USA, a lot of the main European countries, and of course in the UK, you can pledge to order this. And so yeah, we've been overwhelmed with the response. We'd love to sell some more. The more that we sell, of course, happily more people can enjoy and smell it, and also we can have more money to reinvest and make the next fragrance from Naughton and Wilson. And we're already thinking about that. So if you're interested in that, if you want to let us know in the comments below what kind of fragrance we should do next, and hopefully there'll be more than one to come pretty soon. We're already thinking about that, and the more people who buy it before the end of the campaign on December the 2nd, then the more this brand is going to have a chance to really go on and do some exciting stuff in the future after this one, and hopefully everything else is going to be as good as this. I'll be very happy if it is. So yeah, we are very happy that a lot of people have already bought it.
Right, well, there's one born every minute, I suppose. Right, one more last question. This is an important one. If you had to choose between one of these two options, which would you pick? 1, you have to have a dead hedgehog sellotaped to your head for 1 week. Or 2, you have to say marmalade every third word that you speak for 2 weeks.
That's a toughie. Probably the marmalade. The marmalade would be the lesser of two evils, I think. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Don't forget you can sign up for the Mr. Smelly Army Private Members Club on Patreon, which just costs $2 a month for an extra video every week, and there is a link down below in the description for you to do that. I'd love to see you in there. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video. Don't forget, whatever you're doing in life, let's project.